Our goal here on Teen TV Presents is to spotlight local nonprofit organizations and the tremendous impact they have on the community. Today we are going to learn a little bit more about Safe Center Long Island. Safe Center Long Island is an organization dedicated to helping the victims of abuse. To talk with me today, we are with Elizabeth, Education Coordinator for Safe Center Long Island, and Lauren, Dating Violence Protection Coordinator. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
We're going to go through a few questions just to learn a little bit more about the Safe Center. So the first question that I have for you today is, what is the mission of the Safe Center?
Okay, so the mission of the Safe Center is to assist, protect, and empower victims of family and sexual violence while also changing social norms that tolerate and perpetuate abuse.
The next question that I have is, what kind of services do you provide at the Safe Center?
Okay, we have counseling services, legal services, housing, our 24-hour crisis hotline, education, and human trafficking department.
And how long has the Safe Center been active for?
The Safe Center began as two separate agencies. One was called the Nassau County Coalition Against Domestic Violence, and that began in 1977. And the Coalition Against Child Abuse and Neglect was in 1979. They co-located in 2010 and then became the Safe Center in 2014. The thought was to have all services of family violence under one roof to serve our clients' needs.
Yeah, so we merged from two separate agencies when we realized that the services are usually needed for both of these kinds of things. Domestic violence often overlaps with child abuse. So now we merged those two coalitions and became the Safe Center in 2014.
If someone needed advice, could they call or go to the Safe Center and or speak to someone anonymously?
Yes, so anyone can call up the Safe Center on our 24-hour hotline and not give a name if they choose. We also have a confidentiality policy that anything you share with us is kept confidential, except if we know you're harming yourself or others or someone's harming you, and then that would be the time where we would break confidentiality to get services in place to help you.
Yeah, so our services are we stress the fact that our services are all confidential, meaning that someone can come in and get help and we don't have to call their parents or call someone else to let them know that they called. Yeah.
High school students are graduating and heading off to college. What advice do you have for them to stay safe?
We have a lot of tips and advice for high school students. So luckily the Safe Center has an education department that I'm a part of that we're able to go out and give workshops to seniors. So we do like Senior 101, we do senior health classes. So in those settings, we usually tell these youth that they need to learn how to understand consent and understand boundaries and have the confidence to say no and to set the boundaries in the first place and understand how to take no for an answer and have the confidence to do that. So we teach safety in the sense of don't perpetrate these crimes. Protect yourself by not perpetrating these crimes, by understanding consent. Because we were talking about how we learn a lot of prevention tips like don't wear certain things and don't keep your drink in a public place. And while we need to do these things to keep ourselves aware, being aware of our surroundings is never bad advice, but we should never be responsible, and the students should never be responsible for protecting themselves from assault. So we teach about consent, we teach about how to intervene, and those are the kinds of tips that we train and give those workshops for.
And just like what Liz said, is the purpose and the hope is that you have a buddy system and that you're able to keep safe. So maybe you carry your car keys with you and you make sure that you have your cell phone available and that you know your environment and your surroundings.
Yeah, I think those are all important things that all teens, especially seniors going to college, should be aware of. Learn about. My next question is, do you think that there's more pressure to be sexually active at a younger age today because of peer pressure, teens?
So we were thinking that maybe it's more out in the open, that there was always this kind of pressure, and we hear like people in the past even losing their virginity or being sexually active at such a young age. So it was more taboo and it only came out now. So we see that pressure definitely exists. But we also like to make the separation between being sexually active and sexual assault, because people can be sexually active as much as they consensually, freely want to be, but we can't associate the fact that pressure to be sexually active can lead to sexual assault unless somebody is pressured by a friend and that results in them crossing boundaries and pushing someone too far just because they want to get what they want from that person. So yeah, what do you think about the pressure?
I think part of it is also, being cool, fitting in, keeping up with your friends and making sure that you feel like you're a part of something and you're not an outsider. And a lot of teens feel that way, so sometimes they'll do things that they may not really want to do to have that, popularity or prestige with their peers.
Just to follow up on that question, do you find this leads to young people keeping quiet about sexual assault with peer pressure today?
Yeah, we see that maybe people are not aware of what sexual assault is, and that's what we really see, that people are quiet about it because maybe they're not sure that they can come forward or that it constitutes as sexual assault. So we see the pressures and the way that everyone is kind of sexualized and the way that society has become sexualized, that it's kind of flooded those ideas of what sexual assault is. So we see that these kinds of talks and this kind of education helps people realize that they don't need to keep quiet about it, no matter what they've done in the past or no matter what kind of person they are. They don't need to keep quiet about it.
What do you think about the Me Too movement?
Yeah, so I love the Me Too movement. At the Safe Center, we're noticing that we do see in any kind of movement like this, we see an increase in people seeking help. We see people that find their voice, because these services, like Lauren pointed out, have existed for over 30 years. And we've always been receiving, that's why we exist, is because we've always been receiving these calls and needing counseling and needing services. So we see the Me Too movement allowing us to do that even more. It's allowed us to go out and give more trainings specifically on the movement, specifically on what it means to disclose, what it means to come forward. So it's allowed some really great conversations.
Yeah, and a lot of the teens feel more comfortable now that it's more out there and there is less taboo. They feel like, me too, I can say it too. I have a voice.
Has it brought the Safe Center mission out in the forefront more? You addressed that before, but is there anything else?
Yeah, I would think that it's gotten the Safe Center name out there, and it's gotten the mission that we're trying to change and challenge social norms, and that's what the Me Too movement does. Even for people who feel like it's too much, how many people can be assaulted, we're like, good, it's too much, and we'll stop it here.
And I know it led us to also have an event that you worked hard on, so.
Yeah, it allowed us to bring Tarana Burke into Nassau County, onto Long Island, and Tarana Burke is the woman who started the Me Too movement. So we brought her, and we had about over 500 people come to an event, so I think that definitely pushed our mission out there.
Yeah. April is National Sexual Assault Awareness Month. What can we do to raise public awareness about sexual violence?
I think being here today is raising awareness, talking about it, educating people on it, and not just teens, but adults too. Whether it be parents, family members, faculty, staff at high schools, colleges. We want to make sure that everybody understands what a healthy relationship is supposed to look like, as well as what consent means, defining sexual assault, and it's super important to kind of have everybody on the same page with that.
And last question, does the Safe Center have any annual events to raise awareness?
Lots of them.
Yeah, we do. We love to put on events, and we put on some different fundraisers, also just some awareness events. So those kinds of things are our Denim Day, which is happening soon on the 25th. We have our Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. We have a workshop that we do every year. We have a gala that we have every year. We have a food tasting event that we have every year. And we have all different kinds of events, our DV Awareness Day that we have. So there's different months, like this month is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So we had Taste That Jazz, our food tasting, and we have Denim Day, which is just wearing denim in support for survivors. So each month we'll kind of have something dedicated to what we're bringing awareness to.
Yeah, that's really great. In just a few minutes, we're going to have some questions from the other members of Team TV. But first, let's take a look at this video to learn a little bit more about Safe Center Long Island and the help it provides to the people.
I didn't think anyone would ever believe me. And I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna take this secret to my grave. The he I'm referring to is my father. The abuse started around 9, and it escalated over 2-3 years. I went on for about 6 years of my adolescent. Pretty much it was most of my adolescent. His explanations sometimes when he would speak would be, I'm doing this for your good because I don't want any other guy to take advantage of you. I kind of shut down. I just didn't trust people anymore. And as I spent more and more time at the Safe Center, each session gave me a little bit of my power back. Each session began to free the little girl I tied away so many years ago. They didn't see me as damaged goods or messed up. They saw me as a child who was a victim of sexual abuse, and that though this has happened to me, there were hope of recovery. There was hope of, having a different outcome.
I was abused for years, for like on and off about 18 years. My son was taken from me because of the abuse. I had to end up giving my son to my cousin because I got involved with drugs and alcohol, and my life was just in shambles. The Safe Center is awesome. They loved me until I could love myself. I'm here today to let people know that there is help. The Safe Center, the people here really do love you. They are dedicated to helping a person like me. I am a survivor today. I'm no longer a victim.
My father was a very violent man. He would beat my mother up all the time and, beat us up all the time. My mother would dress me in 2-3 pairs of pants, because she knew my father was going to beat me, with the belt, with sticks, with his fist. My father had a friend named Al. Al knew I hated my father, so he played the role. I know you can't stand your father, I know you hate your dad. And it all eventually led to him leading me down to his apartment. Slowly but surely, he groomed me into the process of sexual abuse. Part of his thing was he used to pour beer into a cup for me, and would say, oh, this is cool, you're drinking beer with with the guys, and, that's what buddies do. He pinned me down to a bed. He put the back of his forearm into my neck, and he raped me. And I knew that day I made a decision to suppress this thing that happened to me, and to put it away, and to never let it out. I always felt like I lost my soul, that a thief came and took my soul when I was a kid and stole my innocence. It was Thanksgiving, and I decided this day was going to be the day I was going to take my life and commit suicide. I was making some phone calls to family and friends, and I was saying goodbye. Called my sister. She goes, I know. She goes, I know what happened to you. We got to go get you help. I'm here today because I want men that are suffering, that are going through what I've gone through, and I want them to go get help, to know that there's a place where they can go to for help to better their lives and to figure this out.
I felt like God just put me in the right place at the right time, because I was going to go through something that I could not have done it by myself. I experienced domestic violence at the hands of my significant other at the time, you feel very isolated and you feel like you're the only one who's going through it and you feel ashamed. I have a daughter and I need to protect myself and I need to protect her and I need to get out of this before I lose my mind. And having just the kind people, the good-hearted people that were here, you know, just with that drive to help people who can't help themselves at the moment was just, you know, unforgettable.
There's a place on Long Island where there's a group of people that care, that I call them angels. Coming here now, it's got to be about 10 years. I mean, once a week. Come for my appointments, my therapy, and it's opened up other avenues in my life to where, you know, I realize, you know, my goal in life is to help kids and to help children and to make a difference.
I could say the Safe Center is a miracle. That's the word I could say. It's a miracle place. It's a place where miracles happen because I am a miracle.
Welcome back to Teen TV Presents. I'm here today with the Safe Center Long Island, and now we're going to have some questions from the audience.
Hi, I'm Robert from Manhasset, and I was wondering, what can we do if we suspect or are told that one of our friends has been a victim of abuse, either domestic or sexual assault?
The first thing that I always recommend is letting them know you believe them, that you're concerned for them, you want to support them, recommend or encourage them to get help by an adult or professional, and just be there as their friend.
Thank you. And also, does the Safe Center have a volunteer program? And if so, how old do you have to be?
Yeah, we do have a volunteer program, but you do have to be 18 to volunteer, but we have plenty of different opportunities that require some training so that you could be kind of sensitive and informed on the issues. And then we have a hospital advocacy program, we have a child waiting room program, and we also have some kinds of community liaisons like teens and other individuals that can do some filing work or some behind the scenes work for us. But we also have a lot of teens that are open to having fundraisers or having a walk or just raising awareness on these issues, and that counts as volunteerism too.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing? My name is Matt from Herrick's. I've just got one question for you. As students, how can we make a difference?
I think a big part of that is just kind of being here today, talking about it, asking questions, getting educated, getting involved, whether that be fundraising, donations. We also are part of the New York State Network to End Dating Abuse. And we're going to be running a logo contest, so submitting a logo idea to our Instagram account. We'll be choosing a winner, designing a t-shirt, and that'll be for our next year, February 2019 Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month.
Yeah, and we're pretty open to the fact that and know the fact that we kind of need to heal as a community, and that's the first step, is believing survivors and helping to heal the entire community.
Just to wrap up our show today, is there anything else you would like to add to our audience about the Safe Center?
Just that no one's ever alone in these kinds of situations, and that's what we like to stress and make everyone aware, that you're never alone in this kind of situation. Our hotline, all of our services are free and confidential. Our hotline, that number is 516-542-0404. That number is 24/7, and we promise you that a counselor, trained counselor, would answer that call.
Right, so my thing would be, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help, whether that's yourself or a family member. We're here to support you. Please call the Safe Center if you need us.
Thank you so much for being here with us today, and thank you all for watching. If you want to learn more about the Safe Center Long Island, please visit tscli.org. And if you want to learn more about Teen TV or PATV, just visit patv.org or email info@patv.org. For Teen TV, I'm Rachel Schneider. Good night.
Hi, I'm Liz. I'm an education coordinator at the Safe Center.
I'm Lauren, the Dating Violence Project Coordinator at the Safe Center.
And we're here to let you know that the Safe Center exists. We're a nonprofit agency in Bethpage that serves survivors of rape and sexual assault, domestic violence or dating abuse, child abuse, and human trafficking. All of our services are free and confidential, including our counseling, our advocacy, our 24/7 hotline, our support groups, and all the other services offered to heal and help survivors. We also know that it's important to start by believing.
Start by believing because everyone deserves a healthy relationship.